We're going to kick it off soon, but before we do, down to the field and Pam Oliver.
Joe, as many people know, it has been a difficult road for Vikings running back Adrian Peterson. He's been playing with a heavy heart following the death of his infant son nearly 3 weeks ago, and the media scrutiny he's been facing in his personal life. I asked Peterson about his ability to focus leading up to and during games. He said it's really only just now that he's been able to play football with a clear mind. Coach Leslie Frazier agreed that mentally, just now, Adrian Peterson is in a better place. Back to you.
And he is in a place that is his home state, Texas, and because of that, he is up to 83 tickets he's bought for this game, and he's looking to buy. He needs more. He's got a big cheering section here in Arlington. Patterson, the best in business. The rookie waiting. Cordero's going to bring it out, and why not? A 109-yarder last week to open the game, and he gets met out across the 20. And a return of 31 yards. Danny McCray on the stop, and what do we expect? Number 8 for number 7 here today.
Well, I think coming into this game, Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, really wants to try to get him in some type of rhythm. And a lot of that, however, is going to be doing what they do best, and that is hand the ball off to Adrian Peterson. You talk about him coming back to Texas. He's got a lot of family members here. He's obviously going to want to put on a good show here this afternoon.
Well, Peterson, you know what he did last year, 2,097-yard season. And a guy who, believe it or not, over the last 9 games, that's when he really took off, averaging over 160 rush yards per game. And here we are, week 9. Here's a handoff to Peterson, hits the hole with a nice burst, and on first down gets 6. Ernie Sims on the tackle, and we look at some of the offensive guys. How about Greg Jennings? You look at the rookie who's highlighted, but Jennings really has not made the impact that the Vikings expected.
Yeah, I think that's more indicative of what's happened at the quarterback position.
No huddle to start the game. Selby coming in to help on the tackle, and Adrian Peterson knocked down right at the marker. Take a look at the defense. And on that defense, as the Vikings come right back up to the line, they are young on the back end, with Heath making his 2nd straight start. B.W. Webb playing out on the corner as well. First down, Minnesota. Ponder, quick throw, and that is caught. That's Jennings, and Jennings is forced out with a gain of 1. Durant on the tackle.
You know, last week, Greg Jennings just had 1 reception. They put him in the backfield, try to swing him out, get the ball in his hands, get him going a little bit more. But the Vikings are going with this no-huddle offense. I know in visiting with Ponder yesterday, he said that he likes the no-huddle, he likes the up-tempo. It really takes a lot of the thinking out of the game and lets him react to what he sees.
Blitz coming from the Cowboys. This pass is broken up. Scandrick got his hand in there and broke it up with the pass intended for Simpson.
Orlando Scandrick plays this well. He drives back on the ball. Simpson, as he turns out of his break, he does not work back to the football, and it gives Scandrick an opportunity to make a play.
So it's been no huddle from the beginning. Now 3rd down and 9. A pocket for Ponder, and now he's going to take off. And Christian Ponder's got a first down for the Vikings out to midfield. Went right around Scandrick and picked it up, a carry of 16 yards. And for Ponder, that's only 3 shy of his season long.
Well, Christian Ponder is going to be trying to locate the receiver going down the middle of the field. They're in the 2-deep shell. That's a weakness in that defense, and you've got to bottle up Christian Ponder. This is really his strength, is his ability to run. Sometimes he tucks it and runs a little bit earlier than what he should, but does a great job recognizing coverage down the field, uses his legs to pick up the first down.
First time the Vikings huddle, and they hand to Peterson. Penalty flag flies, looks like a hold, and Adrian Peterson picks up 12 yards. Jeff Triplett is our referee.
Holding, number 74 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
They get the left guard, Charlie Johnson.
74 here at left guard is who they called. He made the switch from left tackle last year to left guard after a nice pickup there by Adrian Peterson. This is an offense that when they get into long down and distances, it's very difficult for them to overcome it because they have not been able to throw the football very effectively.
On first down and 20, Ponder. Quick setup and throw. It's Patterson, and he's ripped to the ground by Brandon Carr. A gain of 5.
Well, Brandon Carr coming off a tough game last week when Calvin Johnson went for over 300 yards receiving in that game, and he had been playing very well, Joe. In the last 3 weeks, he had faced Pierre Garçon for the Redskins, Deshaun Jackson with the Eagles, and then last week with Calvin Johnson. And early in that game, he did some good things. He gave this coaching staff a little too much confidence in his ability to cover Calvin.
On second down, pass caught. Peterson hit hard and wrapped up at midfield, a gain of 6. Nick Hayden came in and was the guy, number 96, who hit him the hardest. Now third down and 9.
Well, they were able to convert last time with Christian Ponder's legs, and on this drive, what I've liked is that Ponder's been decisive in what he's doing with the football. Even on that last play, knowing it's not down the field, coming to his check down right away.
Cowboys bring a blitz. Ponder just throws it in the direction of his receiver, Jarius Wright. There was contact made by Brandon Carr, but no flag. It was right in front of the Minnesota bench. There was pressure from B.W. Webb, and watch the end of this play. See if Carr doesn't get there maybe a step too soon.
Close. Yeah, it was close, Joe. It looked like Carr may have gotten there just before the ball arrived, but Christian Ponder, he's got to see that slot blitz. B.W. Webb showed it pre-snap. Ponder doesn't recognize it. Was a little startled by the pressure.
Flags before the punt. Dallas came across early. Let's see who it's against. Cowboys say it's against the Vikings.
False start. Offense. Both the center and the wide receiver moved before the snap. 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Cullen Leffler is the guy at center. He's the long snapper. Meanwhile, it's a rookie at punter, Jeff Locke, with Dwayne Harris, who is a real threat returning punts, waiting deep. He's number 3 in the NFL, averaging just under 16 yards per return as Locke just got rid of it. A fair catch by Harris out across the 20. And so the Vikings move the ball a bit, end up punting. Here comes Tony Romo and the Cowboy offense. No score. Cowboys have 27 opening drive points, which is second to Denver. There's Christian Ponder. A couple of first downs in that opening possession. Now starting from the 20. Handoff is to DeMarco Murray, who's back after missing 2 starts, and he loses 2.
They get pressure right in the backfield. When you try to run that stretch play, DeMarco Murray and Tyron Smith, he gets driven back, and so a good defensive play there by the Vikings. DeMarco Murray getting his start here this afternoon, coming off the knee injury, and see how much it's a factor for him. Jerry Jones came out this week and felt that DeMarco Murray could have even played last week.
On second and 12, pass caught. That's Bryant out to the 25. Gain of 7. Josh Robinson on the stop, and they've got the rookie in the middle. They've even had him take some snaps at right guard during practice this week, but it's Bernardo getting the start in place of the injured Brian Waters. Third down and 6. Romo protected. Pass is caught by Beasley for a first down. Brought down by Sherrills after a gain of 13.
Well, it's an excellent release by Cole Beasley because Sherrills wants to keep him from taking the middle of the field. You see where he's positioned to the inside. That's the vulnerability of the coverage. Technique-wise, he's trying to take it away, but Cole Beasley was so effective with his release, he's able to get inside exactly where Sherrills didn't want him to go.
20th catch for Beasley on the season. Pass is caught. That's Bryant. And Des Bryant, who you spent time with on Friday at the Cowboys facility, makes the catch, and he's brought down at the marker. They're going to give him a first down.
Yeah, I had a feeling they were going to get the ball into Des Bryant's hands early in this ball game and let him work off a little frustration. We've talked about it all week long. As far as what happened last week in Detroit, certainly it was not representative, at least the pictures weren't, of what was happening. And to a man here in the organization, they've all come to his defense and say he's not a selfish player.
Here's Murray breaking free. And DeMarco Murray, welcome back down to the 26. A big run with Raymond on the tackle, a gain of 27.
Well, just a quick hitter right in the middle. He goes right over Travis Frederick and Mackenzie Bernardo. They make nice blocks, and then he makes the guy miss. They're in the middle of the field. Mr. Raymond was the safety who had a chance to make a tackle for a nice gain, but DeMarco Murray one-on-one with him puts a move on him, and a nice play there for the Cowboys.
This drive started back at the 21.
Hey, 52. Come on. 180. What is that?
On first down, Romo. Pass is off the hands of the tight end, Jason Witten. They are banged up in the secondary with the Vikings. They already don't have Harrison Smith on IR with the designation to return out with turf toe. So you've got Xavier Rhodes making the start in place of Chris Cook. Sendejo and Raymond are the safeties, and you have to figure Tony Romo is licking his chops for the chance to go against these defensive backs.
Hey, new Mike, 55. 180. What is it?
Handoff is to the rookie Randall. What a hit. That was Sendejo. A gain of 3, and Randall ran into a wall wearing number 34.
Sendejo, he comes up, and yeah, he puts a hit on Joseph Randall. I wasn't sure Randall was going to get up off the turf. It's a big-time blow right there. Sendejo, who's getting his opportunity to play because of Harrison Smith going on IR 3 weeks ago. You know, those are the hits, Joe, that the league is not wanting to see.
No.
But it did not look like it fell into the category that was put in this year with the rule as far as dropping the crown of the helmet because of the angle that they were running on.
Now third down and 7. Romo with all day. Has a man, and it's off the arms of Des Bryant. Throw maybe a little behind him, but Bryant was wide open. It's fourth down.
Well, you say, hey, you got to get pressure on Tony Romo, and where's Jared Allen? Well, Jared Allen was dropping into coverage, so he wasn't even rushing on the play. Romo with all kinds of time in the pocket, just a little bit behind. It's what we've seen from Romo really the last few weeks is he hasn't been as sharp, completing just 56% here over the last 3 weeks. That ball should have been completed.
41-yard try by Bailey. He's a good one. Now 15 out of 17 for the season. And how about that hit by Sendejo on the rookie Joseph Randall? First points put up by the Cowboys, 3-0 in Arlington. Cowboys now have scored on 6 of their 9 opening drives this season. 9-play drive. They had loftier goals than field goal. Cowboys now have led in every game this season at some point. As they check into this game with a record of 4-4. Here is Patterson. And Cordero is out across the 30 to the 35. And had room, almost broke that. 45-yard return for Cordero Patterson. AP. Adrian Peterson back to the field, ready to go. Down by 3. First year they're calling this place AT&T Stadium. Home of Super Bowl 45, where one of Christian Ponder's receivers Greg Jennings had a couple of touchdowns. Here's Peterson. And Adrian Peterson runs into Lee. And Sean Lee brings him to the ground after a gain of 5.
You know, you mentioned, Joe, Adrian Peterson being from Palestine, Texas, and he said his whole family, you know, really grew up Cowboy fans, and he's got, as you said, over 80 people here today, and he said most of them are going to be rooting for the Cowboys even in this game.
Ponder, a quick throw, pass caught by Simpson, first down. Skandrick out there covering, a gain of 7. Up tempo for the Vikings here to start their day offensively. Got to change it up with a record of 1-6. Quick setup again, and this one takes off. Out of the hand of Ponder, 2nd and 10 coming up. So is Kurt Menefee with a game break.
Panthers trying to win their 4th straight. Defense picks off Matt Ryan. Offense turns into points. Mike Tolbert, 4-yard score. It's 7-0 Carolina over Atlanta. Joe, Troy, Pam, welcome back, Joe, to Football Beast.
Thank you, Kurt. Carolina with that 4-3 record. Atlanta just 2-5. Here's Peterson. And Peterson got nothing. Durant on the tackle.
Justin Durant, he's able to shoot the gap and get there before Adrian Peterson gets anything going. That's really the key in trying to, you know, once he gets past the line of scrimmage, Joe, he is difficult to get to the ground, and it's hard to make a tackle then without him picking up 4 to 5 yards. They go to this no huddle, and it gets Ponder away from center, and I think it takes them out of what they do as far as their play action passing game.
On 3rd down and 10, Ponder got rid of it. Pass is caught, a good throw, and a catch by Jarius Wright. First down, Minnesota. A 14-yard completion.
Really an outstanding throw by Ponder, even with a free rusher coming to his blind side. If you drop back and you get your feet set and you get the ball out of your hands on time, you can beat a free rusher, just like what happened on that play. But a perfectly thrown ball by Christian Ponder.
Ponder has started 5 for 8. He's hit 5 different receivers to begin his day. Another quick setup. This is Jennings. And Jennings spins forward with a Vikings first down. A gain of 11.
I really like what I'm seeing right now from Christian Ponder, something that I didn't see last week, Joe, in that he's being very decisive on where he's going with the football. He's getting back quickly, and the ball is coming out of his hands. He's not hesitating at all, and he's delivering the ball perfectly. Another good throw there to Greg Jennings.
LA 5-9. LA 5-9. Swap. Down. Check it. Slip. Woody. What's the fuck?
Then play action to Peterson. Pass is caught by Simpson. Somehow made the catch with Brandon Carr's hand in there. A completion of 17 yards.
Well, the Vikings are so heavy running the ball on first down. Now they go play action, and Carr, you know, it looked like he may have even got a hand on the ball. That's an excellent job by Simpson, even able to make the catch, but it shouldn't have been that difficult, Joe. We saw it already previously. The receivers have to work back to the quarterback. If you don't, then you risk having a ball incomplete, and very well could have happened on that play with good coverage from Carr.
Pass to Simpson. Simpson couldn't get away from Skandrick.
Sorry, Joe. I was going to say this is a great job by Minnesota as far as Dallas being able to go down offensively and having to settle for 3 points, but to then come off of that in this no huddle and get something going. Bill Musgrave going with the no huddle with Christian Ponder, something that he likes to do, and he's throwing the ball very effectively. I like the things that they're doing.
2nd and 10. Here's Peterson. And Peterson brought down from behind. Tackle made by Everett Brown, who was just added to the active roster, a gain of 3.
Yeah, and Everett Brown, I mean, he shows his tenacity going back after the football. You take a look at the time of possession and number of plays that have been run primarily on this drive that's given Minnesota the advantage. This defensive front, we talked about it with Dallas, certainly decimated by injuries, but they play extremely hard.
On 3rd down and It's Peterson. He gets it to the 5. That's it. And it's 4th down with Lee in on the tackle. A gain of just 3.
Well, you look at the call there by Bill Musgrave, you scratch your head a little bit unless you saw the Vikings play last week in the same situation. 3rd down in the red zone. They hand it to Adrian Peterson, and he just barrels across the goal line for a touchdown. They try to sneak that one in there again, which was clearly a passing down. Cowboys ready for it, forcing a Blair Walsh field goal attempt.
To attempt to tie it, just 23 yards, a chip shot. They're one of the best in the game. And we're 3-3. What a difference a week makes. As you look at DeMarcus Ware and Des Bryant, a little calmer here in week 9. The defense for Dallas did bend. They did not break inside the red zone, forced the game-tying field goal. But I think the early indications are here, Troy Aikman, that 1-6 against 4-4. This is going to be a ball game.
Well, it looks that way here in the first quarter. It really comes down to this Vikings defense as to whether or not they'll be able to hold up.
Harris will take a knee. And we'll take a break. Dallas will have it for the 2nd time as AP and TG talk it over on the bench. 3-3 in Arlington. Well, you look at last year when Leslie Frazier's team rode Adrian Peterson into the playoffs in a 1st-round loss in Green Bay, 5-2 at this point last year. 1-6 this year for Leslie, whose contract runs out at the end of next year.
Don't be the guy. 180.
From the 20, delayed handoff. Dunbar gets swallowed up. Guy out on the tackle, a loss of 3. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, everybody focuses on the Vikings on 3rd down, but Jared Allen believes it's 2nd down defense that's killing them. Allen told me if the defense can pick it up on 2nd down, then the Vikings can start getting off of their heels and start dictating things, maybe get into a rhythm on their pass rush, taking some pressure off the secondary. We need to start smashing people in the face on 1st and 2nd down.
My Pam, thanks. On 2nd and 13, pass is dropped for DeMarco Murray. Throw off his right hip. Greenway was out there defending. Now 3rd and long coming up for Dallas.
Well, it's interesting hearing Pam's report because, you know, they haven't been good on 2nd down. They've been terrible on 3rd down. And so if they can improve then on what they're doing on 2nd down, maybe they can get off the field on 3rd down. They didn't even force a punt in last week's game against the Green Bay Packers. So that has been a problem for them all season long. And here they are faced with a 3rd and 13.
Vikings need a stop. Romo flushed out to his right. Pass is incomplete. No flag on the play with the rookie Terrence Williams, the intended target.
Kind of a dangerous throw there by Romo. Xavier had an opportunity. Xavier Rhodes on that play. And here's Jared Allen. He's certainly going to draw some attention. He doesn't have the numbers that you're accustomed to seeing from him, but he forces Romo out of the pocket, trying to get him to move. That was one of the keys that Leslie Frazier talked about. But that was a heck of a defensive stand. Good on 2nd down, as Pam reported, and then got off the field on 3rd down.
Now a punt from Jones with 2 guys back. It's Sherrills on the return. They fake a reverse, and Sherrills runs into Jones, who makes a nice tackle. Chris Jones in the open field with a good tackle of Marcus Sherrills. He saved a touchdown.
You can see the fake here as Sherrills gets the ball and acts as though he's going to toss it back behind him. He makes a guy miss, and once again, I mean, with the returns that we've seen from Cordero, the returns we've seen from Cordero Patterson, Joe, on the kickoff return, something they do very well. They've given this Vikings team good field position, and then Sherrills with the punt return, they're set up nicely.
Handoff is to Peterson, and Adrian Peterson almost broke it. Barry Church saved a big one, a gain of 7. Peterson almost got free with a gallop to the end zone.
Well, Fusco, he's got his hands full with Jason Hatcher there inside, but he makes a key block, which opened up the running lane then for Adrian Peterson.
So we're in a 3-3 game. 2nd and 3 at the 30 after the return by Sherrills. Pass is out of the reach of the tight end Carlson. And it's 3rd and 3.
Well, you see now what Dallas is able to do defensively, giving the offense a short field. And, with that throw that was high, now they're looking at here 3rd and 3. And this would sure be a good stop for them if they're able to get out of this possession. One, not giving up any points, but if all they do is give up a field goal.
Vikings have already snapped it offensively 20 times in this first quarter. Now 21 on 3rd and 3. Pass caught. That is a first down catch by Jennings. Good for 5. Wrapped up immediately. And we'll see if the Vikings want to snap it again before the end of the quarter or just let that be. And they'll let it be. So that's it for one. Here at AT&T Stadium, Tony Romo looking at the pictures. And we look at some pictures after one 3-3 game. First down for the Vikings when we come back after this from your local Fox station. Vikings came into this game last in the NFL in time of possession, which has got this team and their fans worried because they should be better than that with Adrian Peterson. Had it for 9:48. In the opening quarter, here is Peterson bouncing around. He takes it down inside the 25. A gain of 2. Let's go with Kurt for a game break.
Redskins and Chargers. RG3's pass batted back right into the hands of Sean Lismore of San Diego. That's an easy touchdown for a defensive lineman. 7-0 San Diego with the lead. They've also blocked the field goal in this game. Joe, Troy, Pam.
You look at the East. Redskins start the day at 2-5, while San Diego in the AFC West at 4-3. 2nd and 8. Ponder out to his left. Patterson closest to it, out of his reach. 3rd and 8 coming up.
It's a good job of staying home there by the Cowboys because they're trying to get Christian Ponder out of the pocket with one-on-one coverage outside. I mean, clearly when you come in against the Vikings, you know that they want to run Adrian Peterson, so he's constantly running against an extra man in run support, and that's what has been surprising to me, Joe, even going back to last year, that the Vikings have not been able to take advantage of that with more big plays in their passing game with as much one-on-one coverage as these receivers get.
It's 3rd down and 8. Ponder, right. Pass is caught with the tackle made, a yard shy of a first down by Bruce Carter. And the solid tackle prevents a first down, a gain of 7.
That was an excellent job defensively by the Cowboys because they gave up the underneath throw to Jarius Wright. Then, as you said, you got to make a tackle. You got to be able to stop them, and they were able to, although here the Vikings go. It's been a struggle. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 1.
It's Peterson driving, didn't get it. First guy there was Selvey, and the Cowboys take over on downs.
Yeah,
you see Selvey get through, then it's Lee, Carter, Church. Cowboys love it. They get a stop on 4th down.
This game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Vikings are now 5 for 10 this season going for it on 4th down. Went for it on 4th and 1. The stop is made, and Tony Romo, who was 0 for his last 4, throwing it. Completes to Witten. And Witten is out to the 22, a gain of 7. Back to that 4th down play.
Well, George Selvey here, he gets the immediate pressure that affects the play, and then Sean Lee finishes it off. That's an outstanding job on 4th and 1, making a play on Adrian Peterson. Monty Kiffin coming off a tough week last week, giving up over 600 yards of offense to the Lions. He likes what he sees.
Now 2nd down and 3 for the Cowboys offense in a 3-3 game. Pass caught by Witten, and Witten's going to fight for a 1st down. Went through Josh Robinson. And a 1st down for Dallas. The new season of The Ultimate Fighter is powerful, relentless, epic, and it's just getting started. Get hooked on the show. Everybody's talking about The Ultimate Fighter, all new Wednesday, only on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com right now.
Joe, we talk about Minnesota and their lack of big plays in the passing game. That was one thing you could always expect from the Cowboys, and they haven't had those big plays this year either.
Romo protected. Finds his running back. That's Murray. And out in the open field, DeMarco Murray is forced out with another Cowboy 1st down. A sprained left knee. He missed 2 starts, and he gets 12 here.
Yeah, Romo comes underneath, and then DeMarco Murray working his way across the field, and there for a minute looked like he was going to be able to get on the edge. I know a lot of people wanted a flag at the end of this play. Looked like they were trying to hold up. Certainly went to the ground late. Robert Blanton taking DeMarco Murray out on the sideline.
They fake the handoff and now throw it to Murray. And he dives forward out across the 45, a gain of 5.
Well, Minnesota defensively trying to do everything they can from giving up the big plays that have hurt them, and so Tony Romo again has had to be patient and just check the ball underneath. And the Vikings are hopeful that, okay, if they can force them then to a 3rd down and get off the field and not give up points, it's hard to drive the ball consistently with 10, 12 play drives.
Jared Allen on the sideline. Second and 5, 3-man rush. Pass caught by Bryant, and Des Bryant is going to be wrapped up short of a 1st down by half a yard, a gain of 4. Greenway on the tackle.
Well, Des Bryant, when he gets the ball in his hands, that's when he's awfully fun to watch. He's a determined young man after the catch, and because of that, Joe, he takes a lot of hits. And in visiting with him on Friday, he's dealing with a back condition that really gives him problems throughout the week. He's got to treat it constantly, and he's a young guy, but he takes a beating much more so than any receiver I can think of in football.
Extra tackle in the game. A handoff for the 1st down to Murray down inside the 45. A gain of 6 on 3rd and less than a yard.
Well, good blocking up front. A lot of questionings about what was going to happen to this offensive line with Brian Waters going down last week. Some suggesting that maybe his season is over. Mackenzie Bernardo, who started the first 3 weeks of the season for the Cowboys, he steps in, and they're hopeful that a lot of the things that Brian Waters showed and set an example for will rub off now that he's out of the lineup throughout the rest of this year.
Romo finds the tight end Hanna down inside the 25. Xavier Rhodes on the tackle, but a gain of 21 for James Hanna. That's his long of the year.
You're going to see this action in the backfield, and what happens then to the linebackers and how they're trying to pursue, and then you've got Hanna who works in behind that, and you're able to find lanes. Marvin Mitchell, he's overrunning it, trying to play the run, and then trying to work back to cover Hanna. It's just impossible to do. So you get the running game going with DeMarco Murray, it opens up some of the play action things like we just saw.
Romo perfect on the drive. That'll continue. Beasley makes the catch. And Cole Beasley now one of the latest guys in the long line of the smaller receiver that can find holes in a defense. Good for 11 and another first down.
Well, he finds a hole because nobody even covered him. And you see that from time to time with the Vikings. Cole Beasley comes off the ball, nobody even in the area. He essentially ran that route on air. I mean, it was a great route, but didn't have to run it.
This drive started at the 16 after the stop on 4th and 1. Romo, Beasley drops it. Started to turn and go before he made the catch. 2nd and 10.
Well, Cole Beasley, everybody when you're a little guy and you play that slot position, they want to try to compare you to Wes Welker, who obviously is a great player, but Wes Welker really is the guy who Cole Beasley looks up to, and had a chance to meet him. And I can tell you, Cole Beasley, you see 5'8" and 180 pounds. Wes Welker is a much bigger, broader player than Cole Beasley. This is a small guy.
Romo in trouble, and down he goes. Heavy pressure. Allen was in there defending for the Vikings, a loss of 8.
Jared Allen, but they also get pressure around this other side. The twisting action from the front, and Romo really just has nowhere to go. I know a lot of the movements that the Vikings, even though they haven't had the sacks, they're pretty active along that defensive front. It was a real concern for head coach Jason Garrett coming into this game as to how they were going to be able to handle that. They didn't handle it well in the last play.
Now 3rd down and 18. Romo is sacked again. Robinson made the play. Back to back, and Robinson reels in Tony Romo, a loss of 5.
Oh, good coverage down the field. I mean, the Vikings know what the situation is. They're trying to keep them from picking up the first down, make them throw it underneath. Romo holding on to the football, trying to give his guys an opportunity. A good spin move by Brian Robinson against Doug Free, gets the sack.
44-yard try by Bailey to regain the lead. And he is good. The drive stalled. Cowboys able to move it from their own 16. Back-to-back sacks. Stop that drive by Tony Romo. 6-3 Dallas in the 2nd. Almost a 7-minute drive, but only 3 points, 12 plays on the drive. Bailey hits from 44, and it's 6-3 Cowboys. Cordero Patterson, the biggest return threat in the game. A guy who is the definition of explosive, and as a receiver, the definition of raw. Still trying to learn how to play from the line of scrimmage as Patterson will bring it out and make it to the 20. Take a break. 6.5 left as the two teams start to push and shove. No flags yet. Vikings have it at their 20, down by 3. We'd like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching today's broadcast in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea on AFN, the American Forces Network. Thanks for all you do. Hope you're enjoying the telecast, maybe a little slice of home as we approach the holiday season now into the month of November. Adrian Peterson gets it on a toss, running left. Outruns Durant, who stays with it. He's in on the tackle with Barry Church. A gain of 10. If you look back in the history of the franchise for the Vikings, and you look at the quarterbacks they've selected in the first round, Tommy Kramer in 77, 27th overall, Dante Culpepper in 99, and then Christian Ponder in 2011, 12th overall.
So they're going with Christian Ponder right now. They want to give him every opportunity to prove that he is the guy or prove that he's not the guy because of how much they've invested in him.
There's a little toss to Gerhardt, and Toby is out across the 35.
If you look at what's happened this year, Joe, Matt Castle really has been the quarterback who's played the best for them. And I was a little surprised they even named Christian Ponder the starter today, because last week Josh Freeman was going to be the starter if he didn't have the concussion and kept him out of playing field. But Christian Ponder, they want to see, okay, is he going to be the guy for us or not? And this is really an opportunity for him to show what he can do.
On the stage today, as Nick Hayden is down, we'll take a break. Nick Hayden looks like he's fine, able to get up and walk over to the sideline. Christian Ponder tested off the charts. He redshirted at Florida State in 06, got his degree in 2.5 years. He's smart. He left school with an MBA. Trying to prove that he can play at this level as Peterson's got a first down and lowers his shoulder into Barry Church. A run of 13 yards for Adrian Peterson.
Joe, I talked about the looks that this team gets, and you see they have a safety in the middle of the field and they put extra guys up there to play the run, and yet you still see runs like this by Adrian Peterson. He's seen that throughout his entire career, yet he still has the type of years that he has. Last year rushing for over 2,000 yards. They haven't yet taken a shot down the field, and you're never going to get anything better than what you're getting here in this first half, and you've got to believe that Musgrave's going to dial it up at some point.
Ponder gets right, and Jerry is right with a catch. I mean, he was left so alone. A catch and run of 11. Let's go to Joel Klatt with the game break.
Thank you, Joe. We go to Washington, D.C., where Alfred Morris, 5-yard touchdown run, and the Redskins have tied it up with San Diego. That's Morris's 5th rushing TD of the season. Back to Dallas. Joe, Troy, and Pam.
All right, Joel.
You know, lost in all that in Washington with the way that they've struggled and RG3 conversation. Alfred Morris is one heck of a back.
Proved that last year with the Redskins franchise record. #1 rushing attack last season as Peterson gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Just to finish on Christian Ponder for the moment, in case you're wondering, the most famous quarterback in Vikings history, Fran Tarkenton, was taken in the 3rd round in 1961, the Vikings' first draft. Their first pick was Tommy Mason, a running back out of Tulane. But here it is for Ponder, who told you that he likes the no huddle. He likes it in his hands. He likes to think through and call plays, and you can see for a smart guy that might be when he's at his best. He steps up, finds Peterson. He shakes a tackle. He got around Sims, and he's down to the 20. A 19-yard catch and run for Adrian Peterson.
Well, you know, it's not much, but again, Christian Ponder makes a quick decision and gets the ball into Adrian Peterson's hands, and he's able to make something happen with it. And you know, hey, Christian Ponder, he's been through a lot. I mean, he's a heavily scrutinized player, and they went to the playoffs last year. They played good defense. They ran the football well. Didn't get much out of their passing game. That's where they've got to get better. But as I said, I mean, he obviously has been playing for a little bit, but this is his chance to show if he's going to be the guy here.
Here's Peterson to the 15. And if you look at where the Vikings have been at the position, Ponder started it when 0-3 with 7 turnovers to begin the year. Then it was Matt Castle got the only win that was actually in London. They signed Josh Freeman on October 7th, and he has the concussion-like symptoms, so he sits out. 2nd straight week for Christian Ponder, who was a part of the loss last week at home to Green Bay. And he's 12-18 overall as a starter in the NFL. 2nd and 5. They fake it to Gerhardt. Pass caught. That's Jennings. He's got a first down inside the 10. Gain of 7.
Really an excellent route by Greg Jennings. He runs a pivot route. You're going to see he starts like he's going to run across the field, and then he comes back out of it and, you know, completely turns Webb around. In fact, he goes to the ground.
2-minute warning in Arlington. First down, Vikings. Adrian Peterson came into this game averaging 12 carries and 50 yards rushing over the last 3 games. Today he's carried it 13 times, 58 yards, 47 total yards on this drive. And it's 1st and goal from the 8. Peterson ran into Hatcher. Gain of 2.
Great year Jason Hatcher has had, and what a great play he makes there. He's able to split a double team, and he's been the one constant for them along that defensive front. He's provided some leadership for a young group, but I know Rod Marinelli feels that he can be a dominant force that's required of that defense that he likes to run.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, they ended up adding one guy in their front seven in the draft, switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3. Without the play of Hatcher, who knows where they would be, but he has been everything they could have hoped for this season.
You're talking about a guy who can play the run and then get pressure on the quarterback the way that he can from the inside defensive tackle position. It's impressive.
They don't have Anthony Spencer. Haven't had him all year. No Tyrone Crawford. No Ratliff. He just signed with the Bears. Here's Ponder. Out to his right. Throws it away as he was out of the pocket. Pressure by Everett Brown. His first week as a Cowboy. It's 3rd and goal.
Really excellent coverage by the Cowboys across the board. There was nowhere for Christian Ponder to go with the football. He had time in the pocket, but you see they lock up in man coverage and just nowhere to go. And Ponder, rather than try to force something, is able to get it out of his hands. But touchdowns have been hard to come by for this Vikings offense.
Now 3rd down and goal. Ponder steps up, going to try and run it in. And he is in for the touchdown. Christian Ponder has thrown for 2 touchdowns this season. He's now rushed for 4. And he's put the Vikings on top with 1:41 left in the half.
We're going to see Sean Lee as he peels to try to play underneath this, and the lane that it opens up for Ponder. And Ernie Sims, he had a chance, and he's the guy who has to then make that play. That's a play that Ernie Sims, he's got great speed and quickness. He just overruns it, and Ponder, check to see whether that left knee was down first, but it is a touchdown. It's a good drive by the Vikings.
Yeah, 11-play drive, covering 79 yards in just under 5 minutes off the clock. And Christian Ponder is all smiles. He's got his Vikings on top on the road at 1-6, leading by 4. Christian Ponder's been smiling since he came off the field, as he's now got 4 touchdown runs. Only 2 touchdown passes this season, but he's got his team up on the road here at the Cowboys.
Yeah, good for him, and this is a bit of a homecoming for him as well. We said Adrian Peterson being from the area, so is Christian Ponder, so he has some friends and family here in the stadium.
Walsh will drill it out of the back of the end zone. Kurt? Hey, Kurt. Kurt? Everybody seen Kurt? Kurt, what's coming up?
Everybody's working to get the highlights all ready for the Visa halftime show, where we'll check out the Chiefs trying to remain perfect there in Buffalo, the Titans trying to end a 3-game losing skid in St. Louis, and the Redskins host the Chargers. It's all coming up on the Visa halftime.
That's where it happens, inside the control room out in Los Angeles. Well, here are the Cowboys, Troy, taking on the Vikings, who are playing without 3 of their top 4 defensive backs. And whether it's the pressure up front, a couple of drops here and there, whatever it is, the Cowboys do not have a touchdown.
No, the Vikings have done a nice job, shorthanded, as you said. The one big play to James Hanna. Other than that, they really haven't gotten much out of their passing game.
Trying to set up a screen, and what a play made up front by Kevin Williams. A loss of 7 as DeMarco Murray went backward, and Williams was there for the Vikings.
Well, they run that screen, and Kevin Williams, he's able to, they're moving up front, but he's able to get the pressure. He sees it the entire way.
Romo fires, and it's off the right hand of Beasley. Now the clock is stopped, and if you're the Vikings, you think, let's get a stop. They've got 3 timeouts remaining and maybe a chance for more points before the half.
Yeah, so you're looking at 3rd and long. You got to be real careful. If you're Romo, that was a ball that could have been dangerous, but now looking at 3rd and 17, got to be careful with this throw. Clearly the Vikings with 3 timeouts, Joe, if they do keep the clock running and they're short, I would have to believe that they're going to burn a timeout, try to give it one more shot before the half.
So Jason Garrett no longer calling the plays for the Cowboys. Romo buys time, and he's got Williams, and the rookie's got a big first down for Dallas out across the 40. The Cowboys with 2 timeouts hurry up to the line of scrimmage, but they have used a timeout. Thought better of it, and it was a 29-yard completion on 3rd and 17.
Well, the rookie Sharif Floyd is the one who came off the edge and was able to get pressure, forces Romo up in the pocket. But Terrence Williams, that's a nice route on his part. He runs the 18-yard square in, and Romo able to move and buy some time and find him in the hole. And Terrence Williams, when you consider what's happened to Miles Austin and him battling the hamstring injuries again this year, he has really emerged. I know a few weeks ago in visiting with Tony Romo, he said, I really thought that Terrence Williams was a year away and it was going to take some time. But from where he was week 1 to where he is now is pretty impressive.
Romo went over and talked to him before this drive began. And now on 1st down with the ball at the 42.
Key.
59 seconds remain with a timeout for Dallas. Romo gets it to his running back, and Murray hops out of bounds with a gain of 4. 52 seconds left in the half. But isn't that what Romo's done really since he's been here in Dallas? I mean, it's 3rd and 17. He gets around the rush from Sharif Floyd with his legs, finds his guy Williams downfield, gets a big completion to keep this drive alive.
Well, they can threaten the defense, there's no doubt, especially if you give Tony Romo time like he had on that play. But Minnesota, they get them to 3rd and 17. Looks like their offense is going to get an opportunity before the half, and they cannot get off the field. Dallas has continued to convert on 3rd downs against this defense, much like everyone else has this year.
They fake the handoff. Pass caught by and dropped by Witt. Wide open. Had it, bobbled it, dropped it. 3rd and 6.
Yeah, you just don't see that often. To start last year, he had a few drops, and everybody was wondering, what the problem was. It could have been an easier, throw. Certainly made that catch a little bit easier for Witten, but still one that he normally brings in.
Let's see how that affects this drive. Now 3rd and 6.
Here we go. 50, middle. 50.
Watch him.
Get right. 50. 180.
They fake the handoff, and Romo is going to be sacked. Jared Allen, the first guy there. Everson Griffin, number 97, there as well, and it's 4th down.
It was the fake handoff that really probably did Romo in, because it forced him to hang in the pocket a little bit longer. Jared Allen, who comes inside, normally without that fake handoff, Romo's able to escape that and get outside the pocket. They gave up containment, but because he had to hold in there to give the play fake, it allowed Jared Allen and then the rest of the company to get there and make the play.
Minnesota calls their first time out of the half. Allen limps away. It's the 3rd Viking sack of this first half. So no more Brian Waters. He's on IR, officially put on injured reserve yesterday. So they'll miss his presence in the middle. And pressuring Tony Romo up the middle has always been the desire and the design of defenses playing the Dallas Cowboys. So the punt, line drive punt. It'll take a bounce. Sherrill's on the return. Dodges a couple of tackles, and he's out to the 21. So the Vikings will have it. 2 timeouts left. Only 26 seconds remain. Fox tomorrow. The Horseman returns to America's favorite new drama. Critics rave it's TV's craziest, most over-the-top, mercilessly funny new show. Don't miss an all-new Sleepy Hollow tomorrow, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, here on Fox.
Well, I've got to believe, unlike had they been able to make the stop, Minnesota on 3rd and 17, that they had time. Now it's an entirely different situation. I've got to believe that they're going to take a shot, but at the same time be very careful. If you're Christian Ponder, they've got to feel good about the fact that they're up 4 here at half if nothing else happens.
With a record of 1-6, Cowboys will start the second half with the football, and Jerry is right. Late getting onto the field with the play clock at 5. Patterson trying to make something happen on that short throw, and not much. And it looks like that'll be it for the first half here at AT&T Stadium. Only the second time all season Dallas trails at the half. The other time 28-20 here against Denver. And it's a 10-6 game with a half to go. Kurt Menefee is standing by. It's the Visa halftime coming up as we take a break. Vikings lead on the road. Here's the Visa halftime. Kurt. Friends to Fox now. Eddie Vedder and the guys from Pearl Jam. They took us all through the World Series, which ended this past week on Wednesday night. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. John Farrell and the Boston Red Sox have celebrated since. John Farrell, who grew up in the same area as Jason Garrett, Monmouth Beach up in Jersey, and Farrell was a legend. Now Jason Garrett trying to figure out a way to get his team on top in this game, down by 4 as Harris starts the second half, taking it out to the 26. Let's go down to the field and Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, for the Vikings, Leslie Frazier could not have enough praise for Christian Ponder. Awesome, excellent decision-making, he said about his quarterback. As for the pass rush, he said it is just what we needed. It's not what Jason Garrett wanted. He said it would help us if we get the ball out faster. As for Adrian Peterson, Garrett told me we can't let him get going. That will be our challenge every time we come out of the huddle.
Joe, I think a real key is they've got to run the ball more. Just 5 carries in that first half. DeMarco Murray only getting 3 of those.
The pass is caught. That's Bryant, and he is wrestled to the ground. Forward progress good for 4 yards out to the 30.
You look at that first half, and Tony Romo, we started to see some of the pressure getting to him, and to take some of that pressure off of him and to help out that offensive line, get the running game, try to get some type of balance. I mean, clearly a 10-6 ball game. 20 pass attempts, 5 runs. I would have expected them, even on first down there, to change it up a little bit and try to get a little bit more balance within this offensive play call.
Dunbar in the backfield. He gets it. Bounces off of a couple of tacklers. Turns it into a positive play of 3. 3rd and short coming up.
So now we've talked about is there's DeMarco Murray. You just kind of wonder, of course, as we said, he missed the last couple of ball games because of a knee injury. And, is that even a factor right now? He looks to be fine. He looked fine when he had the ball in his hands. A lot of blood on him there.
He was out there on first down. Then it was Dunbar who stays in on 3rd and 3.
52. Yeah, 52. Middle. 188. 187.
Out of the shotgun, pass is caught. Beasley, first down Dallas. Cole Beasley out across the 40 to the 44, a gain of 11.
Another excellent route by Cole Beasley. Same thing that we saw in the first half. They're trying to take the inside away from him. Marcus Sherrill's playing that slot position, but Beasley's just so quick. And when you're able to beat a defender where he doesn't want you to go, it says a lot for your ability to get off the ball and run good routes, and that's exactly what Cole Beasley has been able to do.
3 catches, 34 yards for Beasley. Romo gets Williams, and Terrence Williams on first down picks up 4. The Dallas Cowboys have blown second half leads in all 4 of their losses, including last week, 27-17 they led at Detroit in the 4th quarter. So a record of 4-4, still on top in the NFC East, but trailing here at home to the 1-6 Vikings. 2nd and 6. Quick pass. Witten gets around 1 tackle, down inside the 30 as he's wrestled out of bounds near the 27. Went around Raymond, the safety, and picks up 26.
Now they're going to give up the shorter pass underneath. to Jason Witten, but then Raymond has to be able to come up and make a play, and if he's able to, then he stops him prior to picking up the first down. But Jason Witten in the open field, not an easy tackle, was able to get away from Raymond in a nice pickup.
Bill Callahan is now the play caller, the offensive coordinator, and manages the offensive line for Jason Garrett and the Cowboys. Trailing by 4. They fake the handoff. This is Witten. That's a touchdown.
They got Witten in the seam off the play action. They get middle linebacker Aaron Henderson to bite. Safeties are in that 2-deep shell. Big hole right over the middle of the ball. Easy touchdown.
The Cowboys lead by 3. Jason Witten with back-to-back 26-yard receptions. The first one for a first down. This one for a touchdown. His 4th of the year. First touchdown of the day for Tony Romo as the Cowboys lead by 3. Some of the Texas specialty recipes from the Legends culinary team here at AT&T Stadium. As the Cowboys are up now by 3, 13-10. This stadium is an assault on your senses, as this one is going to hop out of bounds off the chest of Cordero Patterson. He's always thinking about hitting the home run, and he could not secure the kick. The Vikings will start at their 5.
Yeah, you know, Cordero Patterson, who we talked about, has given this team great field position. He returned a kickoff last week for a touchdown. He really does an excellent job, but after the Cowboys are able to go down and take over the lead of this ball game with a touchdown on their opening possession in the second half, he backs up his offense here on the 5-yard line.
Patterson, who played 2 years at junior college, then only 1 year at Tennessee. The Vikings traded 4 picks to New England to get back into the first round. Patterson was their 3rd first-round pick of this past draft.
Down! Going later, no! Ready! One foot!
The bobble out of bounds forces a start at the 5. Ponder has it stripped. The ball is out, and the Cowboys have got it. Knocked out by Selvey. It's a touchdown. And it's Nick Hayden who ends up on top.
Well, they try to go play action and catch Dallas off guard, but you know, Ponder trying to step up in the pocket. It's a tough situation for a quarterback when it's not there right away to get the ball out. You just know, backed up like that, you got to get it out quickly. But George Selvey there to make a play, and Nick Hayden, the 2 guys who Rod Marinelli has singled out and has talked about their contributions to this defense. The 2 of them combined come up with a huge play for the Cowboys.
And 2 touchdowns in 10 seconds. This is a defense, while teams have been able to rack up yards, Monty Kiffin is thrilled with the takeaways. They came in with 19 takeaways, tied for 3rd most in the NFL. They had 16 all of last year. Selvey knocked it out. Jason Garrett all smiles as Hayden gets the touchdown. Cowboys up 10. Nick Hayden has his first touchdown of the season, and that's the 4th defensive score for the Dallas Cowboys. So they're not happy being the last ranked defense in the NFL, but a lot of takeaways. That's a live ball, and falling on top of it is Sharif Floyd, the rookie. Let's
go back and you take a look at it, and Christian Ponder, look how low he gets with the ball as he's trying to get it out. Look like he's trying to take a shot to Adrian Peterson, but it just got to come out quicker in that situation.
Okay, so Selvey knocked it out. Jarius Wynn gets the hit on Ponder, and then you get the touchdown by Nick Hayden. These are not guys the Dallas Cowboys were counting on at the beginning of the season, but injuries, that's who they're left with, and they've played well.
They have played well. They not just in this game or on that play. They played well throughout the season for guys that weren't even around.
Starting at the 23, pass is caught by Rudolph. And for the tight end and close friend of Christian Ponder, that's his first catch. A gain of 4, down to Pam.
Well, Joe, for the Vikings, right tackle Phil Lodeholt is out of the game. Jamarcus Webb takes his place on the offensive line. Back to you.
Webb, who was waived by the Bears. And now he's out at right tackle. Lodeholt is out. Matt Khalil is at left tackle. Pro Bowler in his rookie season last year. Here's Peterson, and he is dragged down from behind on first down. A gain of 2. Jarius Wynn is the guy who's in to make that play.
You know, I talked about the punishment that happens to who am I thinking of here? Des Bryant and Adrian Peterson. I mean, you watch him, Joe, and of course coming off the major knee reconstruction before last year, and you know he gets twisted and turned a lot as well. He's not that old of a guy, and you just wonder, you know, how long he's going to be able to continue to do the things that he does at the level that he does them.
7th year in the league. He's 28. Out of the shotgun on third down, pass caught. That's Jennings, and Greg Jennings with a lot of room spins down inside the 45. A completion on third down of 27 yards to the former Packer.
Well, they run the crossing route, and then Christian Ponder's able to at least give him a ball that he can continue to run away from B.W. Webb. So, you know, a time when they need to sustain a drive, and you know, when all the momentum has turned for the Dallas Cowboys with the takeaway, it was a nice gain then for the Vikings. Haven't had many of those in this game.
That's their longest play of the game, 27 yards. And it came at a good time on third down. Here's one floated for Peterson. Had to adjust. Gets around Lee, and Adrian Peterson is going to be marked out of bounds with another first down. A gain of 13 after waiting for that floater from Christian Ponder.
Yeah, but you know, they brought the blitz, and so you know, once again Christian Ponder has a free rusher in his face, and you know, that's where he's got to go with the football. So a good decision by Christian Ponder, getting the ball out quickly, not taking the sack, and then turning that into a really nice play.
Hey, under Mike's 50. Lion. Down. Ready.
That first voice, the voice of John Sullivan, the center, is Peterson. Tries the right side and gets a yard. Sean Lee in on the tackle. Lee is not a huge middle linebacker, and they list him at 6'2", 234. He's got great hands. He's got 11 career interceptions, and he came in with the 3rd highest tackle total in the NFL. He is busy, and they missed him last year.
He was named NFC Defensive Player of the Month for the month of October, and you talk to other coaches on other teams, that's when you know you're gaining respect, and he has gotten everybody's attention in this league.
Second down and 9. Ponder keeps it, throws it. He's got his tight end. That's inside the 10, and in for the touchdown, Kyle Rudolph. What an answer by the Vikings after the defensive touchdown by the Cowboys. The extra point will be coming to make it a 3-point game.
Well, there's contact at the top of the route with Jeff Heath and then Rudolph, and I don't know if Heath thought that he was going to continue, you know, towards the sideline on that route, but he turns inside, he gets the ball from Ponder, and he just breaks some tackles. And you're right, Joe. I mean, an excellent answer by the Vikings in being able to turn around and move the football down the field.
Rudolph gets attention. He is down, unable to pop back up after bouncing off a couple of tacklers and scoring his 3rd touchdown of the season, 31 yards. It's a scoring play. Depends on where the ball is when that left knee hit.
It looked like that left ankle right there is what got rolled up.
But they have confirmed the touchdown. That's a season-long catch for Rudolph. 31 yards, and for the Vikings, their longest play of the game. And a quick answer. This to make it a 3-point game in Arlington. 20-17. How about the answer by Christian Ponder and the Minnesota Vikings? It's a 3-point game. Dallas on top. 16 total points scored in the first half. We've already had 21 in this quarter. The latest put up by Rudolph, who fought his way into the end zone to make it a 3-point game. And Dwayne Harris, who is right behind Cordero Patterson returning kicks, is not going to get a chance yet again. All right, so all the talk about Des Bryant last week and the sideline run-ins and the demonstrative talk that he was giving on the sideline, when you read it and you hear what was said and you can read it for yourselves, it looked bad, but the actual conversation was anything but.
Well, he's pretty demonstrative, there's no question, and you can certainly understand why people draw what they do just based on the pictures. Then you see the transcript or you hear the audio and you realize that, wow, this guy's not screaming about throw me the ball. And actually they were talking about, you know, how they're going to run a route, and Romo's explaining to him, you know, what he wants as the quarterback so that they can complete some of those passes. And a lot of those things happen each and every week, regardless of whatever game it is that you're watching. I know that it affected Des deeply in talking with him.
And this is a drive that starts with a delay of game. Not good.
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That is the first Cowboy penalty of the day, and after last week in Detroit, still demonstrative, but more of a smile on the face of Des Bryant.
Hey, this guy, I'm telling you, you know, he just wants to win. He really does. I mean, that sounds very cliche, but you talk to anybody, he is not a selfish football player, and to categorize him along with some of the other receivers we've seen over the years is really unfair to him.
Romo finds Witten, and the tight end out to the 29. A gain of 14. Let's go to Joel Klatt with a game break.
Thanks, Joe. We go up to Buffalo. The Bills playing really well today, trying to take the 17-3 lead, but no. Sean Smith take this. Jeff Toole, 100 yards back. Jeff Toole making his first start today, undrafted free agent. That makes it a 10-10 game, Joe.
Joel, as you know, Kansas City came in #1 in the league at that plus-minus. At plus 12. Here's a throw too low for Beasley.
That was close, Joe.
That was close to a lateral.
Yeah, the Vikings certainly did not give up on the play when the ball was on the ground, and very close as to whether or not that was a lateral.
So that, instead of being a live ball, was ruled an incomplete pass. That may have been a break for the Dallas Cowboys. Now 3rd and 1. It is a challengeable play, but no challenge coming from the Vikings. Handoff to Murray, and it depends on the spot. He looks short.
Yeah, it was hard to tell, Joe, whether or not he was able to pick up the first down. You see the official come in, and where he's spotting it, it's going to be very, you see, Tony Romo gave it a little foot wedge there.
It's 4th down. It's 4th down. Obviously the ball. The drive started with a touchback. The ball's got to touch the 30-yard line. It did not. And remember, this drive started after the Vikings get the big score from Rudolph. It started with a delay of game call. Made it 1st and 15, and they end up a yard short. So the punt from Jones to Sherrills. Dangerous punt returner. Good punt. And a fair catch inside the 20, so the Vikings will have it as they trail by 3. Here's Tony Romo just scooting it up with his right foot. That got a smile, no flag, and the Vikings have it down 3. And now meet your Fox Tuesday night starting lineup.
Seth Green, dash! Yeah!
Jake Johnson, New Girl. Ike Barinholtz, the male nurse on The Mindy Project. Yeah.
Terry Crews, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
All new comedy starting Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, here on Fox. Watch the top of the screen on what could have been a lateral. Really looks like it should have been. The head linesman at the top ruled it incomplete, and that just shut that play down. The official to the near side put his right arm out as if to indicate that it was a lateral, but it was ruled an incomplete pass. Then the run by Murray short of a first down. Here's Adrian Peterson, no gain, as Sean Lee, the middle linebacker, came up and made the stop.
We talked about Sean Lee a little bit earlier, Joe, and I heard you and Tim McCarver during the World Series talk about how the ball finds a particular player out in the field, and it's the complete opposite with Sean Lee. He finds the ball. I mean, the reason he makes so many plays is he runs to the ball no matter where it is. It's amazing how many big plays he's made through his career.
Pass is caught by Carlson, the tight end, and a good tackle is made by Brandon Carr. A gain of just 2.
It's a really nice job. We talked about Brandon Carr and the tough outing that he had last week, but he has had a really good year for this team. A lot was expected last year when he came in via free agency and signed a big contract. And, you know, I've always said, I believe there was one shutdown corner that I'm familiar with, and his name's Deion Sanders, no one else. But he comes out and he oftentimes guards the biggest threat. And for the most part, outside of last week, he's done a really good job.
No Kyle Rudolph on this possession, limping around on the sideline after the touchdown. Ponder, that's Carlson, and that is not much. Carter made the play, and it's 4th down. Let's go down to the field, and Pam Oliver, what's wrong with Rudolph?
Well, Joe, Rudolph has an injured left foot. Trainer Eric Sugarman tried to heavily tape it. Rudolph tried to warm up before just shaking his head no. The Vikings say Rudolph is questionable with that left foot injury.
So he was not available on that possession. It's a quick 3 and out. 2 completions to his backup, Carlson. Here's Harris, a chance to do his thing. And it's shut down immediately. Good play is made by Sendejo. Just a 5-yard return. Cowboys get it right back as they lead this one by 3. Cowboys will have it at their 35. There are their offensive leaders. By the way, Cowboys have lost 4 games. Everybody likes to pick on Romo. In those 4 losses, Romo has a quarterback rating of 115.8, 11 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Leading here today as Romo with the little pump fake, and now he's got Williams wide open, and what a hit. They're going to throw a flag on Raymond. Mistrail, delivered the hit, and I'm not sure Raymond knows that the flag is in his direction as the hit was high on Terrence Williams.
We'll take a look at the end of this play as Raymond comes in to dislodge the ball, and you know, clearly he leads. A closer look here in slow motion, and as soon as he drops his head like that, even though it didn't look like it was helmet to helmet, no. Joe, it looked like it was the helmet.
He got him on the shoulder.
To the shoulder pad. But they see the dropping of the crown of the helmet, and they're huddled right now to discuss this.
They may pick this flag up.
It should not be a penalty, Joe, but you can see when in real time, when you drop the crown, what the official sees.
There is no foul on the play for a hit on the defensive receiver.
I think that's a good pickup. And as you said, I mean, you know that these officials are looking to throw the flag on a hit that's high, but that was clearly into the shoulder. No matter what Jason's trying to point out to the official on the gigantic scoreboard here, the 60-yard long scoreboard, that was a good no call.
Well, it was, and it really is a good job by that crew getting together and getting it right.
2nd down and 10. Here's Dunbar. Runs into the arms of Greenway, and he gets 8. Meanwhile, on the play, Terrence Williams was wide open, and it was the closing speed of Mistrail Raymond that got him there as as Williams was trying to secure the catch. That could have been a big play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Big play, and they actually were trying to get the ball initially to Des Bryant on a deep ball, but the Vikings played it well, and with time in the pocket, yeah, I mean, a chance for a big play if Raymond doesn't dislodge the football.
Now 3rd down and 2. Pass caught by Dunbar, but a nice tackle. It was Sherrills who we've seen return punts. A flag is down as Sherrills made the tackle, but will get the call as the Cowboys indicate it's against the Vikings.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 50. Hit to the head of a down player. 15 yards, and to the end of the play, 1st down.
So they do get the personal foul here on Aaron Henderson because of that. I don't know. Well, you know, in this day and age, if somebody's down or going down and a linebacker comes in on a running back and hits him head to head, they're going to throw it. Just another one on your list. Romo pass is behind Des Bryant. 2nd and 10.
Talk about how physical Des Bryant is, and this is really how you have to play him. You know, trying to grab him. Xavier Rhodes, the rookie who has been somewhat inconsistent, as you would expect most rookies are, but I think he's come along here the last couple of weeks. You see the play selection there, you know, really have all but abandoned the run game. They ran it 5 times in the first half, so just twice here in the second.
That's not what you expect from Bill Callahan, who's now calling the plays. I mean, you think as this pass is complete to Bryant for 4 yards, 3rd down coming up, you think Callahan brought in here, it's going to be heavier run. The problem for the Cowboys is they haven't really had a steady featured back since Emmett went to the Cardinals. I mean, they've had other guys, Marion Barber, a short shelf life with the way he ran. DeMarco Murray's missed 11 of a possible 40 games because of injuries. They don't have a guy that they've been able to count on back there.
No, and especially last year. You know, I mean, they have relied heavily on Tony Romo.
3rd down and 6. Romo's in trouble, and he's going to pick it up with his legs. A 1st down inside the 30.
That's something you just don't really see all that often from Tony Romo, and he's an extremely athletic quarterback. We see him a lot extend plays, but you see how awkward this is for him, you know, moving from within the pocket and going to get the 1st down. He's a heck of a basketball player, and you saw he gave that little move there to get the defender to slide away from him, but a big 3rd down conversion to keep this drive alive.
Romo had only carried it 13 times this season before that 8-yard run and a Cowboy 1st down. They fake the handoff. Romo slides out to his right into the end zone for Des Bryant, incomplete. Pressure by Jared Allen. That forced Romo out to his right, and it's 2nd and 10.
At the top of this route, take a look at it. It looked like there was a lot of hand checking going on, and Rhodes had his right arm around his back. The official was right there. I thought that the Cowboys may get that call, but this offensive line, I mean, they're holding up fairly well. There's pressure on Romo, but as we show, when you abandon the run and you allow guys like Jared Allen and Robinson to just rush off the edge, that makes it awfully hard on Tyron Smith and Doug Free, the 2 tackles.
Des Bryant 5 catches, none longer than 10 yards. Here's Dunbar, and he's brought down by Aaron Henderson, the middle linebacker who was coming. A loss of 5, 3rd down coming up.
They bring the inside linebacker blitz. Sometimes they do that for. Sometimes it's run pressures as well, but you know the Cowboys haven't run the ball, so they're just trying to get pressure on Romo playing the pass, and then as they're on their way to the quarterback, they make a good play on the run.
got a 53-yard field goal from this spot. It's 3rd down and 15. Romo to the sideline, and a flag is going to be thrown as Des Bryant was interfered with by Josh Robinson.
Josh Robinson, he's cluing in on Romo, and
they're going to call it against Des Bryant.
Well, I was going to say that he better put his helmet back on too, and now they're going to call Des Bryant for a penalty, taking his headgear off.
So the initial call is going to go against Des Bryant for offensive interference, and then when he found out, he took his helmet off, and that's what got the second flag.
You know, on the pass interference on Des, you got to understand that, you know, that's where he was arguing with the official and took his helmet off and got another flag on the play. But on the first one with the pass interference, Joe, the defensive back is entitled to go for he has every bit as much right for the ball as the receiver does.
There are 2 fouls on this play. Pass interference, number 88 of the offense. That penalty is declined. Now, as I was about to make the announcement, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 88 of the offense, taking his helmet off and arguing with the official. That 15-yard foul will be enforced. It will be 4th down.
So here's the difference. If you accept the offensive pass interference, then the Dallas Cowboys get another crack at it on a 3rd down play. But because they decline that and they take the dead ball unsportsmanlike conduct call, you lose the down as well as the yardage, and a punt is coming from the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, the Cowboys were in position to at least come away with a field goal attempt, and they went backwards ever since Romo picked up the 1st down.
End over end punt. Sherrill's at the 10 with a fair catch. Adrian Peterson and the Minnesota Vikings offense back to work. He's from Palestine, Texas. Just under 2 hours away from Dallas. Graduated from Palestine High School, class of 2004. Senior year, scored 32 touchdowns and averaged over 11 yards a carry. Was honored in a ceremony just last month at his high school, and as we said, he's got over 80 tickets purchased for this game. He was at over 60 and more people showed up, and there's his day. Starting at the 10, down by 3. Handoff is to Peterson. That's Hatcher. He made the play, and that's the way the 3rd quarter will come to a close, a loss of 2. And we will sail into the 4th quarter here in Arlington. And again, the emotional Des Bryant last week in Detroit. This unsportsmanlike conduct cost his team. Let's go to the 4th, back after this from your local Fox station. As we begin the 4th quarter, it's a 2nd down and 12 from the 8 for the Vikings, who trail by 3.
Yep. Down. 1 foot.
Blitz coming. Adrian Peterson gets past it. And Peterson is out across the 20. Spun down near the 24-yard line. It's a run of 17 yards. Jeff Heath on the tackle for Dallas.
You know, a lot of times, Joe, when you bring pressure, even on a running play, you can create some big plays, because the Cowboys, they bring safety Barry Church on a blitz. And if you're able to get past that initial wave of players, there's nobody then at the next level, and Adrian Peterson's able to get through that. No defenders, and they get the Vikings out of trouble.
And some breathing room out to the 24 with a 1st down. Ponder set up the throw. That's Patterson. And the rookie has a 5-yard catch. Let's go to Kurt Menefee with a game break.
Well, the Redskins' Darrell Young, undrafted out of Villanova, so Howie's happy. He has 2 second-half touchdown runs, both of the yard. He had 1 in his first 4 years in the league. That one gave the Skins a lead, 21-14 in the 4th over San Diego. Joe, Troy, and Pam.
So a big day for Darrell Young.
Hey, Ace.
It's second down and 5. Handoff is to Peterson. Peterson to the 30, a gain of 1 as Jason Hatcher made another tackle for Dallas.
You know, the thing right now that really helps the Minnesota Vikings is the fact that the defense has played pretty good and it's a close ball game, unlike what it's been in the last few weeks, so they're still able to run Adrian Peterson. That was his 20th carry of this ball game, and Jason Hatcher, we talked about him already and how much he means to this defense.
So they'll look at him. We'll take a break. Third down for the Vikings when we come back. About Jordan Aikman out of the corner, and then Ali Aikman scoring the goal in front of Soccer Dad on a Saturday in the Dallas area.
Well, one of the perks of getting to do a game here in Dallas is, getting to watch the kids play their sports on Saturday.
That's great. Third down and 4 for the Vikings, down by 3. Ponder throws. He's got Jennings, but it's Skandrick for the pick. Underthrown ball, and Jennings, who was open behind Skandrick, never got close to it, as Skandrick has his second pick of the season.
Yeah, now there's pressure inside. Everett Brown is able to get the pressure right in the face then of Ponder, and because of that, either his vision was blocked or he just felt like he had to get the ball out sooner than he wanted. But Skandrick, they were in a 2-deep coverage. Safeties were deep, and Skandrick, playing underneath, is able to slough off of the ball and make a play on it. And got to believe that Ponder didn't know where Skandrick was.
Pass caught by Whitten on first down. So that's now 2 takeaways for this defense. They've got 21 this year, the Dallas Cowboys. They had 16 all of last year, and if the Cowboys are hanging in defensively, one of the big reasons why is turnovers.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, last week's game, that game wouldn't even have been as close as it was had it not have been for the takeaways that the defense was able to get. And on that last play, Joe, no one's going to remember Everett Brown and what he contributed to that. I mean, he really is responsible for Skandrick coming away with the interception because of the great move inside and getting right then into the face of Christian Ponder. It's we talk about that defensive front and how much they've meant. Speaking of defensive fronts, Everett Griffin now, he's walking off the field, and one of the guys who's been a key contributor for the Vikings front.
Everett Brown was added this week, former second-round pick of Carolina in 2009. 26-year-old out of Florida State. He hasn't played since 2011. And on that last defensive play for Dallas, Romo, like a schoolyard play, finds Dunbar for the first down. Like he's out in the playground, just spinning around, looking for somewhere to go, and it's 8 yards and a first down.
Well, when you give Romo a little bit of space and there's only one guy that he has to navigate, it's hard then to get him to the ground because he is so tricky within the pocket of moving around. And we saw him make the scramble, but he's really good at keeping his eyes down the field, and these players, them keeping the play alive and finding a way to get open for him.
Yellow 80! Kill! 50, 50! 180! 180!
Extra men on the run. Pass caught by Whitten. Penalty flag flies, and Whitten is knocked down near the first down marker, but we'll check the flag.
Look, they might get Whitten on offensive pass interference. There definitely was contact.
Pass interference, offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
He shoved Aaron Henderson to the ground, and he gets called for the offensive pass interference.
Well, a lot of times they'll allow a little collision, especially with those inside guys with linebackers and tight ends. I think they got they looked like the left arm got extended a little bit, but when Aaron Henderson went to the ground, I think that was the giveaway for the official.
It's over. So now first and 20.
Hurry up! 14! Kill! 50! 180! What is this?
4-man rush. This is DeMarco Murray. We have haven't seen much of him lately. And on 1st and 20, he gets 2. Everson Griffin on the tackle for the Vikings.
The guy we haven't really had to call out is Mackenzie Bernardo, the right guard, who, you know, as we said, came in for Brian Waters, out for the year. And it was a big question mark as to how much inside pressure there'd be. Certainly there's been some pressure, but overall they've done okay.
Pass is dropped by Des Bryant. And then right in Bryant's face is Robert Blanton, one of the backup safeties.
Yeah, it looked like Blanton maybe is trying to antagonize a little bit Des Bryant at the end of this play. I mean, a perfectly thrown ball by Romo, and you know, those are the catches you just have to make. And hard to complain about not getting the ball or have those type of discussions and then not make some of those types of plays when they come your way.
That was on 2nd and 18. Now it's 3rd and 18. Romo out to his right. They're going to throw a flag. Sharif Floyd was held. Pass is incomplete. It'll be 4th down. It's a hold against Dallas.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 68 in the offense. The penalties decline. 4th down.
And so they had the hold that went up into the face mask as Free got into the face mask of 95 right there. Penalty is declined. It's 4th down. Sharif Floyd was on the receiving end.
Hey, you got to give this Vikings defense some credit. You know, I mean, a defense that has just not been the team that you're used to seeing from them, and to give the ball to the Cowboys with that kind of field position and force a punt is really an outstanding job on their part.
Cowboys have run the ball only 9 times the entire game, as Sherrills with a fair catch. This Minnesota defense gave up 182 rushing yards last week. Vikings have it, down by 3. 31-yard touchdown catch and run by Kyle Rudolph, but he injured his left foot on the play. Phil Lodeholt, starting right tackle, left with a concussion early in this second half, and so the Vikings down by 3 with the ball at their own 13-yard line are without 2 key members as Christian Ponder brings them to the line. 5th Minnesota possession this half. 2 turnovers, a punt, and a touchdown. Over the first 4, and now play action. Ponder throws, and the pass is incomplete for Greg Jennings. Good throw by Christian Ponder. Jennings could not make the catch.
Boy, it sure was. I mean, he showed real poise in the pocket. Excellent coverage by Scandrick. I mean, he just put the ball right where it had to be, and Greg Jennings just unable to make the play. But excellent coverage and a perfectly thrown ball.
So Rudolph is leaving the field. Chase Ford, a backup tight end, just added from the practice squad, wearing number 86, is out there on 2nd and 10. Pass is caught. Scandrick fires Jennings out of bounds, and a flag on the play. And they're going to call a defensive hold against Dallas, which carries with it an automatic 1st down.
Prior to the pass, holding number 32 in the offense. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So they get Scandrick, who is taken over at the right cornerback spot. Morris Claiborne is out with a bad hamstring he hurt last week. He'll miss today, probably next week, and then be back after their bye for a November 24th game at the Giants.
Well, I sure didn't see much there.
No, do it! Do it! No, do it! Ready? What's up?
Handoff is to Peterson, and he goes backward. A loss of 1. Barry Church on the stop, and here's the last time the Vikings had the ball when Peterson got out into the open space.
Yeah, you know, I talked about it with the blitz. He was able to get out in the open field. There's a heated pad that he's wearing on his right hamstring. He had the hamstring issue a few weeks ago, and it's still probably not quite 100%, but normally he's able to get more out of a run. You just kind of wonder if that hamstrings, tightened up a little bit on him.
They fake it to him. Ponder steps up, avoids a sack, and then floats it for the fullback, Jerome Felton. Pass is caught, and it depends on the spot. On our yellow line, it looks like it's enough.
This is not an easy throw to make. I mean, you're running as hard as he's running to his left and then trying to throw the ball back to the inside. Now, a dangerous throw, but he's got Felton there. Felton's able to make the catch. Not an easy catch with Justin Durant right there in pursuit, but it was enough for the first down.
Crowd trying to climb back into it.
Easy. LA. Taxi. Express. Now the front.
Hand off to Peterson running right. He breaks loose. Cuts back. And Peterson is going to be wrestled down inside the 25. Good blocking by the tight ends Carlson and Chase Ford. And Adrian Peterson good for 52 yards.
How good does that hamstring look there? I mean, he's able to get through the line of scrimmage, and you watch him, and he had the burst then that he didn't really show on that previous run, and trying to get him to the ground. Orlando Scandrick comes in here at the end of this play and is able to finally wrestle him to the sidelines. But Adrian Peterson, again, they're able to feed him the ball unlike previous weeks, and eventually he's going to break one like he just did.
And now a timeout taken by Dallas. It's the 40th time in the career of Adrian Peterson that he's gone over 100 yards. He's got 128. So you've got a 1-6 Vikings team taking on a 4-4 Dallas Cowboys team, and the 4-4 record is good enough for first place in the NFC East, but there's not a team that's out of it right now in the division.
No, there's not. That's what's kind of crazy about it. And you look around the league and see what happens. We've gone to the game breaks in Washington, but heck, even the Giants, they've kind of gotten things righted a little bit, it appears, and they're not out of it. I mean, they got a long way to go, but yeah, it's a division that we're not used to seeing this down. It's always been competitive, but for other reasons.
Yeah, and so as you look at what's going on here in Dallas, the Cowboys are thinking, here we are again. We've let at home a 1-6 team hang around. They only have the Cowboys one offensive touchdown in this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I really am by the way that this game has played out.
First down at the 20. Peterson got maybe half a yard. Let's go to Kurt for the game break.
Trying to stay unbeaten, Kansas City's defense has scored 2 touchdowns today. Marcus Cooper strips T.J. Graham of the Bills. Tom Bahali scoots it up, takes it 11 yards for the score, and they lead it by that touchdown in the fourth quarter. Joe, Troy, and Pam.
It's amazing how good that group has been, their defense. I mean, the plays that they have made and essentially single-handedly keep them in this game and put them on top.
Play action from Ponder. Pass is caught by Jennings. He's down inside the 15 to the 14. Meanwhile, Kansas City, they'll have their biggest tests playing Denver 2 times over the next 3 weeks.
And you talk about Denver, and of course the news on John Fox, and our thoughts are with him, and
getting a heart valve replaced, and the head coach, good friend to us at Fox, and thinking of him.
Yeah, one of the really good guys in football.
3rd down and 4. Ponder with all day, going to take off. Wrestled down at the 10. And it depends on the spot. Nick Hayden made the tackle, and they're going to mark him shy of the 10-yard line and shy of the first down. And if you're 1-6 and you're the Minnesota Vikings and it's 4th and inches, you're down by 3, I think you go for it.
Well, they went for it in the first quarter. They went for it on 4th down in the first quarter when it was a 3-3 ball game, and I agree with this wholeheartedly. If you're 1-6, as you said, Joe, I mean, let it roll.
4th and inches. Peterson's got it. Inside the 5, still driving for the touchdown. And with over 80 friends and family in attendance here in Arlington at AT&T Stadium, Adrian Peterson was not going to be stopped short this time. 11 yards and a touchdown.
Joe, that's as good a run as you'll see. Better than anything we've seen already today. And you got five guys trying to rip the ball out of his hands. He has put the ball on the ground in the past. He hangs on to it. Great ball security and carries the team right into the end zone. That's an amazing run by Adrian Peterson, showing the determination and the strength and power that he possesses.
It was a 52-yard run that got him down here and set it up. They're going to review the touchdown to make sure he broke the plane of the goal line before the knee went down. Either way, he picked up the first down and then rolled in for the touchdown. We'll get the call when we come back. We'll get the call right away from Jeff Triplett.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
And with the extra point coming from Blair Walsh, they'll force the Dallas Cowboys into having to take it into the end zone. As you look at what Adrian Peterson has done, his 21st career run of 50 or more yards, the 52-yarder set it up. And then the impressive, and this extra point is no good. A huge miss for Blair Walsh, the All-Pro. First miss of the season, and this remains a 3-point game here in Texas. Maybe you caught the look on Adrian Peterson's face after Blair Walsh missed the extra point. Disbelief. There have only been 3 missed extra points in the NFL this season, and Blair Walsh just missed his first in his short NFL career. Here's Harris, a chance to return it. From about 5 yards deep, he's out across the 25. First, we go back to that 11-yard touchdown for Adrian Peterson.
Oh, just amazing individual effort on his part. As I said, they're clawing at the ball, trying to get it out of his hands, and for him to hang on to it and then still carry those guys into the end zone, impressive. And this, as you said, Joe, a huge miss in keeping this a 3-point game.
And look at the reaction by Adrian Peterson. Blair Walsh had been 57 for 57 on extra points before that miss. Here's Murray. He's to the 30. Xavier Rhodes got hit by Chad Greenway, his teammate. A gain of 4, and now for this banged up secondary, Xavier Rhodes is down. And he got a helmet-to-helmet hit from his teammate, Chad Greenway. We'll take a break. Xavier Rhodes was the second first-round draft pick of the Vikings in this past draft. You watch the left knee right there. Knee and ankle. Then he got hit in the head by Chad Greenway, but they're looking at the knee of Xavier Rhodes. So now another guy is down in this secondary for the Vikings, which has played so tough here today, leading by 3. On second down, Romo finds Witten. A penalty flag is thrown. Witten is out to the 44, but a flag is down. And we'll get the call. Looks like it's against the Cowboys.
Any use of hands in the face. 73 of the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That's Bernardo.
That's the right guard who we said is coming in for Brian Waters. And, you know, hey, these guys have been in pass protection mode the entire game, and he gets his hands up and into the headgear, and that's what gets the call. But this is tough duty. You know, they've run the ball, 9 times in this game, and to constantly be in pass protection mode and absorbing the blows. I mean, occasionally you'd like to deliver a few as an offensive line. That's asking a lot from this group throughout this game.
We're going to go through that graphic after the 2nd and 16 play. Ball back at the 20. Romo, Beasley gets some of that yardage. Since the Dallas Cowboys won a postseason game, a playoff game after the '96 season, in the regular season they're 132 and 132. If you add the postseason in 1-7 since then, they're 133 and 139. Yet here they sit 4-4. They lost a last-second game at Detroit last week, and they're trailing at home to the 1-6 Vikings by 3.
I'm just shocked that they haven't been able to move the ball more consistently than they have. I mean, everybody has moved the ball against this Vikings defense. Cowboys have struggled.
3rd down and 9. Pass is picked off. Intercepted by A.J. Jefferson. Terrence Williams, the intended target, and the interception from Romo hands it over to the Vikings, and this secondary is hanging as tough as it can.
Well, A.J. Jefferson, I mean, good technique, and he's cluing in to Tony Romo, and then he drives on the ball. They've done it. They've not been able to do anything down the field to soften these corners up. We've talked about it. Everyone knows the Cowboys are throwing the football, but they haven't been able to expand the coverage behind them, and so you get guys starting to sit on routes. Now, A.J. Jefferson, you know, he's in because of all the injuries that have occurred to that secondary, and the fact that this Vikings defense, as I was saying, has held up the way that they have has been really impressive, especially with a secondary that's been as depleted as this group has been.
Jefferson was playing for the injured Xavier Rhodes. Now Ponder is going to go for Jennings, and it's out of his reach. Up by 3, 4:21 left. That stops the clock. That's the first interception by a cornerback on the roster of the Vikings this season. And it's the first in the last 164 pass attempts by the opposition. Skandrick got away with getting a handful of jersey on Greg Jennings at 2nd and 10.
I like the thought, though, by offensive coordinator Bill Musgrave. A turnover, you take a shot down the field. That's usually when you can get some big plays.
Instead, at 2nd and 10, they run it with Peterson. He gets a yard. That's it.
Well, and we saw the missed extra point, Joe, that kept this a 3-point game, which clearly is big right now in this ball game. To give the Vikings offense a short field, if the defense can hold here on 3rd down and not give up any points, I mean, that would be a great possession for them in keeping this, you know, short of the Cowboys having to get a touchdown.
It's 3rd down and 9. So now the pressure on Ponder. Steps up, going to try and pick it up with his feet, and he will not. Skandrick made the play. It's 4th down. The ball is sitting at the 36, so a 54-yard try from this spot if they elect to kick it. And the Vikings are going to keep their offense out on the field.
There was Greg Jennings on that crossing route, and boy, he had nothing but open field in front of him. Sean Lee trying to pick him up, and Ponder, you know, just got out of there a little bit quicker than he probably needed to.
And now a timeout as one of the safeties, Jeff Heath, can't get up off his knee. Meanwhile, Troy, here's Minnesota passing on a 54-yard field goal try. Again, 1-6. You can do a lot of things and maybe more than you typically would if you're in a divisional race, but they're going to go for it on 4th and 5.
Yeah, I don't really like them going for it here on 4th down. I think, Joe, if they decided then, hey, you know what, we don't want to try the field goal, it's a little out of our range, or we don't want to miss it and then give the short field to Dallas, you know, I think I'd punt this one and try to pin the Cowboys down there a little bit.
Here's Blair Walsh. After missing on the extra point, he was frustrated that he remains on the sideline. This is well within his range. His career long is 56 in Houston last year. He has hit from 54 this year.
You just wonder how much the missed extra point, factors into this decision.
Well, it's 4th and 5. There's always that other option by an offense of trying to draw a team offside and use some of the aggression that the Dallas defensive front has against
a lot of
Cowboys.
Yeah, a lot of conversation, Joe, with the offensive linemen. You see that. Typically, when you have that, you're saying, hey, look, now we're going to try to get them offsides. See what they try to do.
Empty backfield. Peterson at the bottom of the screen. And the Cowboys don't jump. That's what they were going to try and do. Get an offside. And the Dallas Cowboys did not come across. And now again, instead of Walsh, they're going to bring out Locke and try and pin the Cowboys deep in their own territory, trailing by 3. But we've seen Romo eat up a lot of yardage in a short amount of time. Really, time not a factor at this point with 2 timeouts left and obviously the 2-minute warning.
No, I think it's just that I think Leslie Frazier's looking at this and saying, yeah, maybe it's within the range, but if we don't make it, then we're giving a real short field to Romo.
End over end, it's Harris with a fair catch at the 10. A lot of talk about Dez Bryant during the week after all the action on the sideline in Detroit. And so here's his day. Bryant, 5 catches, 30 yards, a drop in this second half, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. There's the drop. The penalty for taking his helmet off, and not a reception for more than 10 yards in this game.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. There's some good plays in there, and then some not so smart plays, and then some drops, and not overall the type of day that Dez Bryant wanted, but an excellent job to go back to that last drive. An excellent job by the Cowboys not giving up any points after giving the ball to the Vikings with a short field.
Here is Witten getting a block from the rookie Williams on the outside, and Witten's got a first down as he gets 11.
And as you said, Joe, plenty of time on the clock. And, they haven't been able to get the ball down the field, as I talked about. No real big plays to speak of. And they don't even have to worry about driving the ball down the field because there is as much time left in this game.
Romo, Harris out across the 25. First catch of the day for Harris, a gain of 6 as we approach the 2-minute warning here at AT&T Stadium. And we're there. Take a break, come back. Last chance for the Cowboys. And another opportunity for this Vikings defense. Minnesota up 3. Vikings up by 3 after that missed extra point. Cowboys 4 losses this season by a combined total of 14 points. 3 of them by a total of 5 to Kansas City, Denver, and Detroit. They trail by 3. 2 timeouts left, second down. Pass caught, Beasley. And he is out near the 45. And so a couple of offensive plays, actually 3 later, the Cowboys are right back where they would have been had the Minnesota Vikings attempted that long field goal.
Hey, stay. 180.
Romo, Williams dropped it. Made a move on A.J. Jefferson, who has a pick, and then tried to make a move before making the catch.
Yeah, that's one you got to be able to make, especially in this situation. What we've seen from Romo before that throw was working the inside guys, working Witten, working Cole Beasley in the slot.
Romo, pass is caught. That's Bryant. Dez Bryant down inside the 25. 34 yards to number 88. We have a new audience joining us. For those of you just checking in, Minnesota trying for the huge upset. Des Bryant just made a 34-yard catch. He has been quiet today. Cowboys trailing by 3. That's Beasley, and he's out of bounds with a gain of 9. Here's a catch by Bryant.
Yeah, slant route by Des Bryant, and they overrun it. Mr. Raymond, the safety, you want to be there to try to make a play once the catch is made. He overruns it, and then Des Bryant is able to turn what would have been a relatively short gain into a nice gain.
Longest play of the day for Dallas, 34 yards, now 2nd and 1. Pass is caught by Witten, and Witten is going to stay in bounds. The clock will continue to wind. The clock not a factor. Dallas with 2 timeouts left, and they have spent one of their timeouts right here. Let's give you a look back. Christian Ponder ran one in, 4th rushing touchdown of the season. That was early. Jason Witten, a 26-yarder. Then it was a strip and a touchdown by Hayden. Selby with a strip, a defensive touchdown. Kyle Rudolph made it a 3-point game. And then after this incredible 11-yard touchdown run by Adrian Peterson for the lead, Blair Walsh missed his first extra point in his short but very good and dependable career, and only the 3rd extra point missed across the NFL all season to keep it a 3-point game. And now the Dallas Cowboys have to figure they've got the tie in the bag. They're looking for a win. 1 timeout left, 1st and goal. 1-on-1 up top with Des Bryant. Romo pulls it down and will throw it away. 2nd and goal with 42 seconds remaining. For those of you just joining us, as we said, Cowboys with 4 losses by a combined total of 14 points. They trailed by 3 here today after a heartbreaking 1-point loss at Detroit last Sunday. Romo 6 out of 8 on this drive. Finds Harris for the touchdown. Second receiving touchdown of the season for Dwayne Harris. And now Romo all smiles after a frustrating day against a banged-up secondary for the Vikings.
That's a great job by Tony Romo, taking his team down the field for the go-ahead touchdown. Dwayne Harris working one-on-one with Marcus Sherrills in the slot position, and good route. Romo's able to slide up and find him, but he didn't force any throws. He took what the defense gave him, some underneath stuff. Of course, the slant route to Dez that he breaks off for a nice gain, but just an excellent job of keeping his poise and taking the team down for a touchdown that they desperately needed.
And now the extra point will force Minnesota to have to try and get it into the end zone. Tony Romo, Troy, on that drive, 7 of 9, 90 yards, the touchdown. And on the 4th lead change of the day, he finds Dwayne Harris for a 7-yard touchdown.
And just an excellent job overall, as you see Des Bryant. But Tony Romo knowing exactly what the situation was, as you said, Joe. Time was not a factor. He had timeouts. And to not force any throws, he worked the inside things, took what the defense gave him. Just an outstanding job. And now, you look at the situation in the game and how big the missed extra point was, because now instead of the Vikings needing to go down and come away with a field goal to tie this up, they have to score a touchdown. 3 timeouts left. but with just 35 seconds to operate.
Jack Greenway, the outstanding strong side linebacker of the Vikings after last week and their loss at home to Green Bay, was quoted as saying the frustration level is off the charts. Well, after getting the lead, the missed extra point, which looms large now, they trail by 4. The Vikings have to make something happen to avoid a 1-7 start. Here's Gerhardt. That's a good start to this possession, as they will start out across their own 40, a 21-yard return. And let's go back to the missed extra point by Blair Walsh.
That was a good hold, good snap. He just pushed it right.
And now 29 seconds remain for the Minnesota Vikings. 3 timeouts. But it's on Christian Ponder, trying to avoid an 0-5 record as a starter this season. Ponder. This one is tipped, and the play was made defensively by the rookie B.W. Webb, who went up and got a hand on it.
Well, they have no choice but to drive the ball down the field. So Christian Ponders, he's going to have to take some chances, to fit some balls in. There's going to be some that are contested, but the Cowboys are not playing a prevent defense.
Ponder steps up, has it stripped. He gets the ball back, knocked out by Everett Brown, and what a nice start as a Dallas Cowboy for Everett Brown, who was just added this week. Hadn't played since 2011, and there were only 10 seconds remaining, and the Vikings use a timeout.
Yeah, originally a second-round pick by Carolina, and he's the one who got in Ponder's face on the interception by Skandrick, and he comes in on this play and does a nice job of stripping Christian Ponder.
Ponder stripped for the second time in this game, the last time by Selby, and it was recovered by Nick Hayden for a touchdown. The State Farm postgame show is coming up. They put 5 seconds back on the clock, and it's 3rd and 17.
The Vikings are just trying to get the ball somewhere where they can at least then take a shot to the end zone, because they can't get it to the end zone from where they are right now.
Ponder underneath. He's got Carlson, who gets himself up. And now 8 seconds remain, and the Vikings will spend their second timeout. Well, the Dallas Cowboys came in 4-4. The Eagles, who they have defeated in Philadelphia, will play later at Oakland. They're 3-5. The Redskins started the day at 2-5, and the Giants, who were on a bye week, are 2-6. We're going to try and get our audience to the end of the Jets-Saints game, time permitting. Saints are driving in that game. It's 4th down here. 10 seconds remain. Ponder will try and get the first down. He does with Carlson. The clock will continue to wind, and the Vikings will spend their final timeout, and they've at least gotten it to the point where maybe they can heave it into the end zone.
Yeah, one more shot, try to get a little bit more yardage so that Ponder can get enough arm on this to get it into the end zone. And you got Des Bryant back there. He'll be playing in center field. And now the question is whether or not this offensive line for the Vikings, if they can give Ponder enough time in the pocket to let his guys get down the field. That's always the challenge when you're having to hold it, from midfield. Everett Brown, as we saw, he's already been able to get pressure on Ponder, but that's going to be the key as to whether or not Ponder can hold it long enough to let his guys get into the end zone, get it down the field, and then see what happens.
He's got to throw it 47 yards. Barring a defensive penalty, this is it. Cowboys have 4 men coming on the rush. Ponder waiting, unloads. This one is short, and the Dallas Cowboys win it by 4. And it was not easy against the now 1-7 Minnesota Vikings. Cowboys back over 500 at 5-4. It's the Saints and the Jets.